ahead of tomorrow's game?
Well, normally all the players have come back in a good shape, the players who were away on international duty. And Peter Cech will join in training today. I haven't decided yet if he will be in the squad or not tomorrow. And the other good news are that Wilshere and Rosicky are training, back in full training again. And Cazorla has started to run, but still a few weeks away, I think.
Mesut Ozil, Olivier Giroud and Alexis all in good form over the international break. How much of a boost will that be for the final few weeks of the season?
It's always good when the players come back with a positive experience, for their confidence. But we finished just before the break with a good game, and I think both positive vibes together will help us to restart well again tomorrow.
Just finally from me, it was a disappointing afternoon the last time Watford visited the Emirates, but what have you learned from that as a team?
Well, that Watford is an efficient team with 3 shots on goal and scored 2 goals, so that they are defending well organised, very strong physically. So overall, I believe that we want to be more efficient with the chances we created. I think we created plenty of chances, and we want, of course, to transform that better. Our expected goals scored, our percentage has to be higher.
Hi Arsene. Good news on Jack Wilshere, as you said. When do you expect him to be back in first team contention?
I'm a bit cautious with him now, but to be back fully competitive will take a few weeks.
Do you believe that he's got enough time to still make England's Euro 2016 squad, and would you welcome his inclusion in that squad?
Yes, both. On both answers is yes, or both questions.
You've got 8 games left now.
Yes.
Are you at the stage where you have to win all of them to have a chance to win the league?
A chance, no. Should we win all the 8 games? I think we have more than one chance to win the league, but the target is to win the games, of course, and let's start to be pragmatic and win the next one. That is tomorrow.
I know you're taking that one game at a time, but the 8 wins would take you to 79 points. Hasn't often been enough to win the title. Do you believe that that total could be enough this time?
Could be, yes, but of course depends as well on results of Leicester. We are depending on Leicester, and nobody knows at the moment how they will respond in the last 7 games. They have 7 games, we have 8. But what is important is that we play our 8 games with complete commitment and passion and see where we finish. Everybody says Leicester as a team who has overachieved, but when you see now all the international players who go play with their national team, where the best players in the national teams, so that shows it's never coincidence. When a team does well, it's because they have good players.
How many horses are in this title race?
I don't know. Behind us, if we are still in there, everybody doubts us. So the teams who are behind us, it's even more difficult. They need absolutely the perfect run. But I haven't counted how many teams are in there. I just look at how much we can be in there and focus on our own run.
Mesut Ozil is quoted as saying that Arsenal have messed up this season and that they're only themselves to blame for the position they find themselves in. Is there a feeling that of what might have been, given the position you're in at the moment?
No, at the moment, no. We focus on giving our best until the end of a season, and then we judge the season. We have been involved in many competitions as well, and so it was not always easy. We had many injuries as well. That was at an important moment of the season. But let's not judge too much. Our job is to perform until the last day of the season. So let's do our job. That's the most important. That not to talk too much. Talking is not our job. Performing is our job, and it's important that we focus on that.
Arsene, you've had to field a lot of questions about your future so far this season. You're quoted as saying this week that you will see out the last year of your contract. Is it now time for even the doubters amongst the Arsenal fans just to get united behind the team and yourself for this season and next season?
I think always the supporters have to get united and be behind the team. My individual case is less a problem. My individual case is to perform, as I just told you, and to give my best for the team to be successful until the end of the season. That's what it is about. After that, this club has values, and one of the values is that we respect our contract, and people who work for the club respect that contract, so that shouldn't be a surprise. And I'm here for 19 years, and I always did that.
Just finally from me, what have you made of Quique Sanchez-Flores? I know you've had one victory each so far this season. What have you made of the job he's done in his first season in English football?
He has done extremely well, and Watford was a candidate to fight to avoid relegations. And with 7 games to go, they are quite safe. So I think he has done extremely well, beyond expectations.
Arsene, on Jack Wilshere, you say he's got maybe a couple of weeks before he can start playing first team football again. So that'll probably give him, what, six games towards the end of the season, 5-6 games? Do you think that will be enough to play international football in the summer?
I don't know. Well, once he will be completely fit and competitive, you know, he'll be available for Arsenal and for the national team after. Why not, you know?
And with Cazorla, do you think he'll have any influence in this season?
I hope yes, because he started to run. You have to be always a bit cautious, because you never know how people respond to training and harder training sessions. But at the moment, he looks like he has a chance to be completely fit to respond again until the end of the season and be competitive. I don't know.
Has the last week been a bit frustrating for you, given where the stage of the season we're at? You've got no players here. Has it been difficult?
Yes, it's been, but many managers in the Premier League are in that case. You know, I don't complain. I'm happy that they all came back in a good shape.
You've seen most things at this football club over the years, but how difficult has the last 4 or 5 weeks been for you as you've seen your title challenge drifting?
They have been very difficult. But I believe that again you focus on giving your best and performing, and I think our last 2 games at Barcelona and against Everton were very positive, and that shows that the team responds very well even when we have a difficult time, a difficult period, and that what it is about. You know, some teams sink and some others respond, and we have responded in a very strong and efficient way. Our game, we have to respect the culture of our club and play our game and respect our style of play.
But did you sink at the wrong time?
No, again, let's. The languages are always dramatic. In football, you have to accept that you have to be pragmatic before you play a football game. Today in the Premier League, you have to accept you can win, lose or draw, and we'll assess our season at the end of the season. Let's focus on giving our best and continue to play with passion, commitment, and pace like we want to do it, and assess everybody the season at the end of the season, and at the moment let people talk and focus us on performing.
Is this season a one-off, do you think? Not particularly for Arsenal, but for the Premier League, where obviously we've got Leicester and Tottenham more, or is it become more of the norm, seeing teams like that challenging at the top?
It could be more of a norm, because all the English clubs will have fantastic financial potential to buy the best players in Europe, and so it could be more of a norm. But let's not forget, at the moment we have 17 teams behind us who have all big potential, some of them, you know. So let's focus to do well and until the end of the season and give absolutely our best, and after let people talk and let us do the job.
Having been in this position before, chasing for the title and being the most experienced team in the top 3 at the moment, how defining a period would you say this is for Leicester and Spurs? Because the final run-in, in your opinion, would you say this is where I think the wheels?
Yes,
are
the
turning?
stress becomes bigger, and but Leicester at the moment is in a very strong position, but they can still lose it, you know, and but the only way we can achieve that is by us, with us performing.
In terms of Remy Gard's sacking, just because you know him well and he's spoken about wanting to emulate you, what did you think about that this week?
It's disappointing because when he was appointed, it was more a longer period appointment at the time, because Villa was already in a very weak position to remain in the Premier League, and I think he considered that he could go down, but unfortunately wasn't given the time to rebuild the team and have a go next season to come up again. Villa, must say, has over the recent years been unstable with their managers, because they used many managers, and it shows as well, it's a good demonstration as well, that it's not a solution to be successful.
Arsene, just on Jack, is he likely to play for the under-21s next week?
I don't know yet, we haven't decided that.
Presumably it's a difficult balancing act for you, because on one sense you don't want to rush him back, but at the same time he needs games if he is going to go to the Euro.
Yeah, you're right, but I have to decide what is right for the team, and but I'm guided by that.
I mean, you said you're happy for him to go to the Euros, assuming he's fit,
Yes.
but there must be a part of you that would rather he stayed here and had a summer to sort
Yes, but you want your players to compete, you know. When you're a football player, you want to compete at the top level, and what is important is that Jack is frustrated enough, and I believe it's very important for his confidence, and that he can go to the Euro and that he can play. And for England as well, it's important that they have a player of his quality available.
It would be a gamble for Roy, though, to take him if he hasn't played.
If he's completely fit, no. And I think as well, when you're a national team coach, you wonder, you can take a gamble, should you consider it as a gamble on one, certainly not on five, you know, so you consider the whole situation on one player, you can certainly take a chance.
What about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain?
He should be available. He's at the moment not out running, but for him it's no special concern. He's just recovered from his ligament strain, but he should be available.
Do you know when he might be back for you?
Still 3-4 weeks.
And just finally, just one transfer line. You've been linked with Granit Xhaka this week.
Mhm.
Borussia Mönchengladbach. Is he on your shortlist?
Look, at the moment we start to analyze work and get little lists of names, but I don't think it's a moment for us to come out with names.
Is he on that list?
I will send you the list if you want.
Please do, yeah.